Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life, and welcome back to the channel. This is just a normal, regular process video where I am going to take one of the layouts that are from the 12 Days of Christmas Scraplifts. It's from the Scrap Squad, and this is day number 4. Now, that sketch or the layout is from Nikki Rowland, and I absolutely love her. I follow her, and I do all of her layouts. I love what she does. And so I am taking the leftovers of the flavors of the month. Now, this was part of my design team for the scrap room, and it's the 49 and Market Nature Heaven. I had to do some tweaking and whatnot because I didn't have a lot of papers left. I had two 12x12s and a bunch of little bits. So what I decided to do, instead of doing a big old heart like she did on white paper, I used this vintage style paper that 49 and Market is notorious to do. And I decided to take a cut file from the Confessions of the Paper Addict cut file shop. Now, they are no longer in business, but when we were done being part of their design teams, Virginia's like, use them, you have them, and at least give me props that it was that. So that's what I'm doing here. So I am outlining the word love. It is a stitched love heart. However, I did manipulate it on my Cricut to where the stitching was not there, so that I can just leave it as a full, like a full heart. And this is where I was telling you I've got like bits and bobs of pieces left. And so I'm working through trying to get my photo layered and whatnot. So I do put my layering of my photo on the different side, and you'll see why, because I'm looking up, and I wanted myself to kind of look at like the word love, because that's going to be my title. I definitely had a big struggle in 2025. However, this photo is one of them from 2023. It was a random photo that I took. I didn't even post it on social media. I don't even know why I took this photo. I can't figure it out. I went through all my social medias and everything, but it was in there. And it just reminded me of some of the struggles that I went through in the year 2025. I'm filming this in 2025, but this is going up in 2026, obviously. And I am doing things differently now after seeing my life coach, or I'm still seeing my life coach, but after getting a life coach and going through some of the struggles that I have gone through, that this photo just reminds me of who I was and who I lost and who I gained back. I know that that's like a mouthful, but it reminds me of who I was as a person prior to my struggles, and then going through it reminds me of my eyes being like, this is, I was going through a lot, and then when I got through it all and I'm now on the other side of it, and I'm going through now learning how to recognize certain things in my life to make sure that I don't go back down that path. That is where I'm working on now, because long story short, when a person is a taker and only a taker, and like myself, I am very much a giver. I may take every once in a while, but I am very much a giver. And that is where I caught myself doing things that I've never done before. And so this photo just reminds me of all that. Even though I took it in 2023, and how would I have known in 2025 that this photo would have originated a lot of that? So that is that. So now that I'm off of that, my thought process throughout all of this is going to be using up all of the materials that I have. I have not a lot of nothing left. So I did have this rub-on, and I wanted it to be like rubbed on rub-on, and you'll see kind of how I play with this. I start to get through it all, and then I kind of change my mind. I change the spot of it, kind of just all these little bits. Then I took out my acrylic paint that is from Vicky Boutin. It's just her white acrylic paint that she made. I think with probably when she was still with American Crafts before she went to 49 and Market. Because I know that this collection came out before they announced Vicky Boutin was coming over to 49 and Market. And so what I'm doing here is I am mimicking where I am placing my photo and my cut file, and I am mirroring this to where you can see that it's got a bunch of white tones. And I made sure that with a sponge, you don't get it wet, you don't do any of it, you let it kind of spongy on there so that when you place it down, you will still see some of that texture when you look at it like close up. So I will be honest, when you look at it close up, you'll see it a lot more. And here you just like, well, where'd the white go? But I promise you, you will see it. And I'm just getting this word love figured out. And then I was going to put this thing right here. I leave it there for a hot minute thinking, yep, this is where I'm going to have it. And then I'm like, nope, it's going to change. And then I'm going to move it over here, and then you'll see what I do with it outside of that. Then I did cut out this piece that was a wood piece that was from one of my random pieces left over. And I placed that there. And then here I come in with my photo, and I'm just kind of going through and adding. I didn't have a lot of embellishments. So I wanted the cut file to be the major focal point, because you've got to love yourself before you can love others. And you got to remember that, because a lot of times we forget, especially as moms, wives, women in general, we forget to love ourselves first because we're trying to do so much for everyone else. And so that's why I picked this title or like this cut file over all of my other heart cut files that I have. So now I'm just kind of going through and adding all of these other little random bits that I've got left of this collection. This cut it out. I've only done 2 layouts with this, and typically I will get 2 layouts out of the Scrap Rooms Flavors of the Month, because I always run out of embellishments. That has always been what I've ran out of, and it is what it is. That's why I love it so much, because I can get through quite a bit of the collections and get my layouts that I want to, and then be done, right? So here I am taking the rest of my embellishments that I have left, which is the 2 tickets or 3 tickets that you see. So I put one up on top, and then I put one down on the bottom, or 2 down on the bottom, and then this not random, I should say. Then here's this tag, and I do come in with the twine, I think, if I remember correctly. And then I'm just placing those down. And then I had to go dig in my stash. So I pulled some ephemera out of Simple Stories that matched the goldish, greenish tones that are in this, so that I could get a little bit more of embellishments, because me is more's more. And I'm like, this isn't quite done. And I wanted to add just a little bit of more like embellishment. So I found some florals that was in this, if I remember correctly, it was like a memory style kit. I can't remember exactly where I pulled it from, but it was one of them that, like, if you had family members that passed away or whatever, it was that collection. I didn't get a lot of that collection because I think I got it through the scrap room as well, and so there wasn't a lot. And so I was like, ooh, these little bits that I have here will work to kind of just round out the style of what I'm looking for. And so then I'm doing this twine, and then that's about it. And then I do come in lastly with my liquid pearls, the oxide pearl. And then obviously this twine, I'm almost out of this twine. I got to find some other type of twine to get, because I got this out of the dollar spot. It works for what I use it for, and I really like how the twine is. It's not too thick, but it's thick enough. It makes it look good, and I'm almost out. I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. But then I come in with the liquid pearls, like I said, and then I'm just going to add black dots. And I like how this ends up being. I do black dots all over, and then I add my 3 little dots that I used to do for quite a while. This was one of those layouts that needed the black dots. I really, really love how this turned out. I hope that you guys all do the YouTube-y stuff. My still shots are coming up. Make sure you like and subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my family. And I hope that you guys are all staying safe. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
I don't know why I go when I go. I still don't know why this war in my blood. Why this war with all that I love. Oh, my wandering ways and these faithless days, I find it hard to explain. My wandering ways, always turning away from your loving embrace, I find it hard to explain. My wandering ways, my wandering